I want to ask you this because obviously this is uncharted territory, right? This is I love that you mentioned yesterday on our stream on Tuesday Night Main Event. You talk about, well, comics have always been like this changing thing. And you're right? Definitely, as someone that's been around for decades, you understand that. So we're entering into this new age that looks a lot different from, let's say, the establishment kind of standard, if you will. Maybe there isn't going to be an industry standard anymore. I don't know. But do you think that this change that we're seeing, we know crowdfunding has kind of implemented just a different animal, right?
Right.
Do you think that this is different? Because you were going through the 90s, right? Remember the image boom and all that stuff that happened out of that. How does this compare to the other changes that we've seen in comics over the decades?
I think this is a healthy change.
Okay.
A really healthy change. I don't as good as the early 90s were to me, the image boom was it hurt comics.
Okay.
Because they weren't concerned with maintaining quality.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was there was a boom and then a big bust. I mean, people around remember sales just fell off a cliff like one month to the next. It was over. The cycle ended with a bang, and it left all of us surprised. Like, oh my God, we're not going to be making the money we made before. And it's because of they weren't concerned with the quality. And you are. I mean, look at the image guys. I need somebody to write my book. I'll hire my college roommate. Like, that's not the key to success. That's not the key to lasting quality. You got to bring in pros who know what they're doing. And they did that at Image, but they did it too late. And it all came crashing down. So, but comics are always changing and they're always going through trends. I mean, if you know your comic history, I tell people this all the time and they're shocked. In the 1970s, DC's biggest selling titles were Sergeant Rock and Jonah Hex. They couldn't give Superman, Batman away.
No.
So you got to roll with trends. You got to go with trends. But if nothing else, this model, this crowdfunding model, this truly independent model, we are so nimble. We can move on a dime.
Oh, yeah. I just put out a shirt today. That's how quick we can do it.
Yeah. So we're not, and as long as we're giving the readers what they want and maintaining the quality and we're serious about this, and we're doing what we love and sharing that enthusiasm and love with the readers. For real, I know it sounds maudlin and sort of sentimental and all that stuff, but I just love this stuff and I love it when other people love
it. Yeah. It's interesting, man, because everything is like, I'm seeing it, especially with the business stuff, which obviously that's what, I'm doing here. I'm trying to facilitate making sure that money's looking good. Everything's coming in. People are delivering, just Rippaverse is doing what it needs to do. And we're seeing that change, right? Comparatively speaking, as well, just the business in general. And I know crowdfunding kind of changed the game as well. And in just the overall uncertainty with the big dogs, and especially with the media, the big dogs, like it used to. I think that's probably what changed, just in my honest opinion, a lot. Because, or let me say this. What it did was you can really identify the things that fundamentally changed by looking at that, right? Because there was once upon a time where media mattered in the sense that you got notified of what's happening and what's going down with comic book media or whatever it was. Now, we've been iced out. CBR doesn't cover us. Blood Bleeding Cool doesn't cover us. Comics Beat doesn't cover. None of these guys cover us.
Right.
Yet here we are, right? About, over 810,000 with our campaign. It's the biggest story right now in independent comics. And I'm not saying that to say, well, they need to be covering us. What I'm saying is the fact that they don't control the industry like that anymore. Like it's just, it doesn't march to their beat anymore, which is,
if they ever did. I think that was all an illusion anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they don't, it just makes no sense. It sort of takes the sheep's clothing off the wolf there, because these are websites that need content,
and
they need hits, and they are consciously not covering you and the work you're doing, and it's hurting them. It's not hurting you. It's hurting them.
Yeah, good point. That's a good point.
I mean, they need those hits. Imagine how many hits they'd get if they would continuously cover what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, even if they said I hate it, and I think it's all crap, you know, they get all the people that hate it hitting on it, and all the people that love it hitting on it to say you're full of shit. It's great stuff.
True. That's true. That's very true.
They won't do it.
Yep. That's a good point. That's actually a great point.
It's as stupid as DC and Marvel making books nobody wants. And keep making books nobody. I tell you, man, when back in the day when your book got below a certain amount in sales, it was panic time. It's like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you know, that's the reader's fault because they're so stupid they don't get what we're doing. Oh.
I mean, you joke, but that's what's happening.
What's happening?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's almost like, hey, we have to live up as customers to their standard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you got to be good enough. You got to be good enough to read my book, and it's like, what the hell are you going on about? Because to your point, back in the gap, once that threshold you passed that, you were like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, it might be. Hopefully, I get put on some more work or whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, we got to make some changes.
Yeah,
do something.
Yeah, and this time
cancellation.
Yeah, most definitely. But this time now, it's like they're being rewarded, right?
Yeah, it's like, well, we'll cancel it and we'll release a new number one in 3 months. The same character that nobody wanted the last 16 times.
Oh, Captain Marvel. Oh,
Captain Marvel. How many number ones have there been? You know, dozens and dozens. Nobody wants it. They'll never learn.
Putting it perfect. Alphacore #1's pre-order is live. Written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. Visit Rippaverse.com to grab a copy and any of the merchandise items. Be sure to also check out the animated trailer for the campaign, which is the latest project from Rippaverse Studios. Y'all be easy.